And welcome back. Home buying season is in full swing, and we're hearing a lot about the high interest mortgage rates and rising inflation and low housing inventory. You might be wondering if home ownership is still a worthwhile investment. Let's turn to an expert for insight on the latest housing market trends and to hear an outlook update for spring, summer, and beyond for our area and nationally. So joining us with more is Jessica Lautz, Deputy Chief Economist and Vice President of Research of National Association of Realtors. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jessica, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
Good, good. Hey, Jessica, many in our audience are contemplating whether it's a good time to buy or sell a home. What trends are agents seeing in this spring, and what can we expect in the second half of 2023?
So what I would say is that this is actually a pretty favorable environment. We know that interest rates are actually ticking down. There's a lot of demand for homes, but buyers right now actually have a chance to perhaps even negotiate. We know that there are multiple bid situations, but there's a lot of buyers out there who are ready to make this move, who are tired of sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah. And, the N.A.R. recently released its wealth gains report. Talk about that. What's it all about?
Absolutely. We know that homeowners have been the winners in the last couple of years. Home prices have gone up. And so homeowners who have been in their homes for about a decade are actually sitting on substantial wealth gains as these home prices have gone up. So in New York, in your area, we're actually seeing that the typical homeowner who's been in their home for a decade has $135,000 in home equity gains that they've actually had.
Yeah. And speaking about what type of a return on investment have middle income homeowners seen in the last decade or so?
So in your area, it's $135,000 that the typical homeowner has had as a return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, for all homeowners nationwide, they typically have 40 times the equity and housing wealth. Let me rephrase that. They typically have 40 times the wealth that the typical renter has out there.
Yeah. And what advice would you give to clients in the market who are in the market to purchase or sell with the interest rates the way they are, they're fluctuating or going higher?
So I have to say, for sellers out there, they're probably sitting in a pretty good scenario right now if they do want to make a housing trade because of the housing equity gains that they have had. We also know that more than a quarter of home buyers right now are actually paying all cash. And many of those are recent sellers who have these equity gains. They're moving to more affordable areas, right sizing, and so they're able to make this housing trade. We also know that for home buyers right now, have patience. It is a difficult transaction to make, but when you have your experts on your side, it makes it a much easier transaction. Having your financial house in order and making sure that your realtor is there with you on your side as well.
Yeah. You hear a lot of people talking about, I can get a lot more for my home right about now. But they get more, but then they're going off to buy another home. How can they balance that out? Because you're going to get more, but you're going to pay more when you go to buy the other house.
Yeah. So what we are seeing right now, at the end of the day, people have to move, whether there is a life change that happens, a marriage or divorce, a new job. And some people are making trades right now, even if they are nervous about doing that with the higher interest rates. We also know that migration patterns are strong. People are moving to different areas of the country. Yeah. And as they look to these different areas, they're able to actually find a home that's priced at where they're comfortable making that purchase.
Are people still benefiting? Like you have a home in New York, you sell it. Of course, it's going to be, get a high price for the sale of the home. But then you were able to go to Florida and North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia and get a lower price home. I mean, almost the same home with a little more property for, like, if something costs $500,000 here in New York, it'll be like $150,000 to $200,000 in those areas down south. Is that still the case?
Yes, absolutely. Those migration patterns are strong. We're seeing a lot of people move into Sunbelt states. And one of the big reasons why is there's a lot of retirees out there. They want to actually find a bigger place and perhaps move to a place with a warm climate, favorable tax conditions. And so they are migrating to different areas. And of course, chasing the grandbaby is always an attractive pitch as well.
Exactly. Are there any resources that the people can go to for homeowners or potential buyers
Absolutely.
To find out more?
Go to realtor.com.
Realtor.com.
Absolutely. Yes.
And all the information is right there.
Go to realtor.com and you can find information about the buying and selling process, but you can also find information on how to find your perfect agent who's going to help you with that financial trade, your biggest investment, your home.
Yeah, and a lot of people are still skeptical. They need to be held by the hand and say, come on, let me walk you every step of the way. Do they still have that person who can pay close attention to the nervous buyer or seller and who can take you through it every step of the way? Do they have that person?
Absolutely. That person's your realtor. They're going to price your home competitively, find that qualified buyer. And for buyers, they're going to help you negotiate and find that perfect home for you.
Yeah. And for somebody just starting out, what's your advice to them?
You're going to want to do your research. Have your financial house in order. Make sure that you find your mortgage broker who's going to help you understand what you can qualify for and what you feel comfortable paying at the end of the month as well. And absolutely find your realtor who's going to help you understand every step of that process through the way.
Have your financial house in order. Do some house cleaning. Listen, thank you so much. Give us the website one more time for everybody who wants to jump in and people who are in the market and ready to buy or sell.
Absolutely. You want to go to realtor.com to find your agent to help you through that process.
Thank you so much. Jessica Lautz, Deputy Chief Economist and Vice President of Research for the N.A.R. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a quick break right here. Guess what? I've got more. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Here we go. Next.